what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the discussion and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Mark Doxy, Chocolate Sane, and Ranty Flat Earth. How are you all?
How do?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't level any of you up, so I'll probably do that first of all. Chat amongst yourselves for a few seconds.
Right, okay.
Great Discord. Wonderful. Well, I know how much to adjust you. I just need Chocolate Sane to say something.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Cool.
And how are you, Mark? Are you good?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Doing the best. Really pleased with the results of yesterday's GoFundMe.
Oh yeah, people in Flat Earth bring a smile to my face on an almost daily basis, I won't lie. And yesterday I was buzzing at the end of it because I suspected that there were people out there that were the same as me. I said to Ranty, I want you to have a better camera. Simple. And, you know, if you do a GoFundMe, I'll be the first to contribute to it. And I suspect there are other people who feel exactly the same. And within 24 hours, he's 80–90% there to getting a better tool to do what he's been doing up until now anyway. It also adds an infrared camera to his arsenal if he's, you know, prepared to risk destroying his P900. And obviously if he's got a replacement, it's less of a gamble, because if he does destroy it, he's still got something to go out and do his observations. So yeah, kudos to you, Ranty. You deserve every penny.
Yes, here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I was blown away. I have to say again, I am absolutely staggered at the response that I've had. I didn't expect so many people to donate so much in such a short time. So thank you to everybody.
Well, I'll do a plug for it now. So it's not over yet. So you've got to obviously reach your target, which you haven't. So I shouldn't really tap you on the back too much. So there is a link in the info box if anybody does want to contribute to Ranty. He's only got a little bit of a way to go, to be perfectly honest. So, you know, I don't want to jinx it and say he's definitely going to get to his target, because that would be unfair. But it seems like it's going that way. And certainly based on the generosity of people yesterday, which is just overwhelming, I think he'll get there. You know, hopefully by the end of today, he'll go over that mark. But he's not far off. You know, what was it last time I looked? Something like 836 of 1,000. So that's pretty close. I'm sure you'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, staggering. And I assume probably most of this has come from from your audience, and you know, obviously some of my subscribers too. But I don't think any of them will be from the Bob Globuster side or anything like that. I think most of it's from you, from the guys that come in and listen to the debate.
If we can get it over 1,000 while this stream runs, or this or the next, will you order it all online?
Yeah, of course I will.
Awesome. Because that's something that's interesting. You know, I'd like to talk about the camera itself. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if you were around about that time or not, Ranty. I honestly can't remember that far back. But when the P900 came out, you know, it caused a massive stir because of what it was and what it was capable of. And, you know, it immediately sold out. And, you know, it was you know, I remember for the longest time saying P900 sponsor of the Flat Earth.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, I mean, I wasn't even in Flat Earth when the camera came out, and I hadn't actually spoken to anybody in Flat Earth at all when I decided to buy a P900 after watching just a few videos about the Flat Earth. So I already had my channel up for chemtrails and stuff, and this just blew me away. So I went and I looked for the camera that had the most zoom. That was it. That's all I was interested in. The P900 was the one. And it was after I'd bought the P900 and started already doing flat earth videos that I spoke to my first ever flat earther, which was Anthony Riley. So yeah, it was all, I didn't know the back history to that. So
I mean, on yesterday's stream, you went through the full shebango, and it was really good fun. And I know at the end of it, you were knackered, but me, especially in the chat, I was on a proper high because everyone was dead enthusiastic. You know, you put in your pictures up. I've got loads of them on these screenshots that we put up on the show. So it's something that I've seen it all before. I can't have seen all of it before. You've got thousands and thousands of images, but you know what I'm driving at. I've seen a good chunk of what you've got for each day or whatever. And so, you know, it's totally familiar to me, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see it time and time again. And as time progresses, and I know people will agree with me, the artistic quality, you know, I'm sure there's Alan, whatever his face on the panel every now and again going, it's a smudge, you know, in spite of the fact that he will be showing us pictures of satellites that are a dot. But anyway, that aside, your quality of imagery is getting better, and you're learning not only how the camera works, but also, you know, where's the best spot. And you've just released a video, so if I can, I'll do a little link to it while I'm doing this jabber, if I can do two things at once. But you did a video basically with one of the observations that you've done of Barrow in Finesse, but you've moved up the beach rather than down the beach. So you've gone, is it about a mile?
I think it's 2 miles nearer. 2 miles nearer.
But it makes all the difference in terms of how good the pictures are. And I would estimate that going back to some of those old spots with the better camera, you might find you yield the same result. In other words, you can get higher resolution on the things that you can see. Therefore, when you zoom in on them and have a good close look at 1080p, which is typically what we're going to be working with, you know, you've already got 4 times the resolution to begin with that camera. So, you know, I think it will make a massive difference. I know people are like, oh, it's only this much better and that much better. It's like, no, I think all things considered, it will be a big improvement. You know, let's see if I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. I think it will be quite marked, the difference between that and the P900.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you say, just the pixel resolution is going to be so much better, let alone the actual zoom on it. So all around, it's going to be a better camera, just like you said. And also, I want to do some experiments up towards Loch Ness over the winter.
Right. So that's what I've bought for my £10. No more calling them experiments. Tests, right. Observations, tests. Let's not demean the word experiment like the globeheads do.
Tests up at Loch Ness, because it appears that there's a nice 20-mile stretch there that we can do some observations along, and because it's encased with, well, it's surrounded by mountains, that you shouldn't get too much wind. So in the winter, nice cool day, no wind. Yeah, I'm gonna jump in the car, and it's probably going to take me 6 hours, 7 hours to get there. But if I know it's going to be like that the following day, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up and do some some tests up there.
Cool. I've just put a link to your latest video, so it's only 2 or 3 minutes long, but it's basically you explaining what the fundraiser is about and thanking people who've donated already. And you know, I noticed that you put a few thank yous in the Ranty-a-thon from last night, just to the people who donated afterwards, which, you know, I was doing my damnedest for you to thank all the people as and when they donated during the Ranty-a-thon, and it was hard to keep up, which is, you know, amazing to say. But I'd refresh and see another anonymous donor or somebody claiming to be a baller. You know, when you can put just any old name and a not address, just name in. So you had Sean Hufford and the Rumpus donating substantial chunks of money, actually, which is why I'm pretty confident. I mean, I think you'll get over the £1,000 by the end of this stream. See if I'm wrong.
Red's Rhetoric donated too.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah.
So
very generous. Shout out to Red's Rhetoric for donating £100.
Who did the 101? You remember?
Rumpus. Oh, that was absolutely comical. So
it was hilarious, that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. So at the start of the stream, I was in the chat saying to people, you know, it'd be great if we could get Ranty, you know, well on his way and get him up to £333. And Ranty was like, "What do you mean 333? It'd be great if we could get up to 666." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So we get up to 333, no big deal. And then it starts to edge up to £550. And there's people in the chat going, it's going to get up to 666, isn't it? And I'm like, no, I don't want to say that. I think we'll get to the total on this stream. You know, I'm optimistic like I am now. But sure enough, towards the end of the stream, you could hear it in Ranty's voice as he's gone over a couple of things more than once, because I've demanded it from the chat. More pictures. And he's getting knackered, and it's like, oh no, he's going to round out soon. And then just in the last few seconds, the Rumpus donates £101, pushing the total to £666. So it's like, oh, no way. But so Ranty ended the stream, but just before that, someone did actually donate £5, so it did go just over. So he won't get you a load of flack from people who think you're like a ritual Satanist or something stupid. But yeah, so
well, and then funny, Awake Souls had been in there, and he's on 666.
Yeah, it was funny. It's funny if it's
now. He's just turned up.
I spoke to Robbie Davidson afterwards, and I was like, yeah, it's funny if he reaches 666 and then sort of goes beyond it and then ends the stream. But if you end on 666 donated, and it's like, oh no. But it ended up being 671. I think someone donated £5 after. But it's like, great. And then, you know, as you woke up, I'm sure you woke up and had a look and went, oh, you know, another couple of £100 has been donated. I'm almost there. Wow.
I was, blown away. That's all I can say. I'm very humbled by it all.
It is humbling, and that's what makes me smile so much, because you know, you kind of think, I'm banking on people having the same passion for your work as, you know, I'm hoping that other people have the same passion for your work that I have. I know that's quite difficult to phrase, but I was right, you know, they do. People do want it, and you've said it as well, which is, I'm sure, something you've mentioned to me in the past. You're like, well, people have said to me, are you going to get that new camera, or I'd support you, whatever. So yeah, it's one of those, you know, you're unfortunate in the respect that you're not over 1,000 subscribers, you can't monetize your channel. So what means do you have at your disposal? I know there's people going, oh, well, GoFundMe take a chunk. And it's like, yeah, but GoFundMe do a good job of rallying people to support you, tweet it out, Facebook it out, or encourage people who are tweeting it or Facebooking it to donate, and so on and so forth. So they do provide a good service, it's a good platform, it's trustworthy, that's why it's used, and you know, they charge a fee. So what? Ultimately speaking, the purpose of the fundraiser is to get somebody who has invested their own money ultimately in a P900 and knackered it by doing just nothing but flat earth observations, filling the damn thing with water and sand, to have a better tool, as opposed to you having to sell it for a meagre amount of money. You'll be able to convert it into something that will help you get IR shots of stuff and progress with what you observe, which is all anybody wants. They just want to see you progress, and we've already had stuff from you. It's not like we don't know what we're going to be getting. We know, we've seen it, we're happy, and it's almost like, well, even if you just ran away with £1,000, I'd still feel like, well, no, fine. You know, I'd rather, you know, I genuinely would. I'd be like, oh, well, you know, that the guy's obviously a total shit, but ultimately he deserves every penny. I wouldn't change my opinion. You know, but ultimately people have done it because they want to see you have a new camera, and they know that you'll go out and you'll use it. So that's why they've all supported you. And, you know, clap, clap, clap for everyone who supported you yesterday. Everyone was really enthusiastic, and they did support you. They pulled out all the stops, and I'm truly proud to be a flat earther.
Me too. Absolutely. So where's Anthony today? What's he up to?
I don't know. I've spoken to him earlier, so I don't know. He's probably just tired of doing something. So, yeah, Arwen as well. I don't know where Arwen is. He's normally pretty keen to get on.
He was, mind you, he was up late apparently. If I was looking through the Skype, and it appears that he was on quite late. So you know what he's like. He's probably asleep still.
No trolls yet. Have you got an eye on the back door?
Got eye on the back door, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and quiet. I distracted the trolls, hopefully temporarily, with a kind of meaningless video about a slinky while you were doing your marathon.
I've just seen that. I've just seen it.
Total clickbait for the trolls. Yeah, keep them busy while you're doing a ranty-a-thon. You don't need their aggravation. So they were kept busy moaning about that.
Oh, it was quite funny actually. What gave you that idea that this slinky could, you know, defy gravity, or was it just a video that you saw?
Oh yeah, I saw that ages ago. Someone in the chat was like, "You're 5 years out of date," and I was like, "Well, no, I well and truly appreciate that there's other videos on this subject, but ultimately speaking, I'd just done it as a little trick for my niece. So it was part of a video that I was editing that wasn't going to get published. It's, you know, for a family WhatsApp video. It's just been my kid's birthday, so I don't need to explain it any further than that. I made a video for my family, but part of it was that's why it looks like it's shot on a potato. I had no intention of publishing it, but I was thinking I just need something to be put out now for, you know, the trolls to get their teeth into while you're having your ranty-a-thon, and, you know, until that fundraiser's done, I want to distract them a little bit. So I thought, well, if I chuck that out now, they'll be biting on that rather than biting on you. So that was my intentions.
And to be fair, the fundraiser was your idea, so it seemed to go quite well.
So fortunately, we're fast past the point where you can blame it on me for not going right because it's gone well. So yeah, I take full credit, Ranty. Absolutely, it was my idea. Yeah, I kind of pushed you into doing it. I'm not going to lie, but you know, I was pressuring you for a month to sell your camera, and you know, you've got what's the word? You don't want to sell it. I know you don't want to sell it because it's not a good camera anymore, and you don't want to palm it off on somebody on eBay, and that's fair enough. I used to be a salesman. To me, it would just be a product. I would just sell it. But my attitude towards your current camera was very different to yours. And ultimately, it means if you don't sell it and then find another £600 or £700, you're never going to get that improved tool. So I was like, well, that's rubbish. You know, I know that given a relatively short period of time, based on your work load with that camera you have now, it will break. Eventually, that camera will die. I know it. You know it. And at that time, it's going to be the case that you'll be like, oh, do I go out and buy another second-hand P900 because I need to keep, you know, my desire and thirst for flat Earth and lust for going out and doing this stuff fed? Well, that would be a damn shame that you're not, like, stepping up your game at this point. So, you know, that would be heartbreaking, but hopefully you'll get a couple of donations while we do this stream as we're jabbering on about it, or after the fact once this gets rendered, and people will click on the link and go, yes, please, I'll support that. I loved Ranty's image that was used to bust this particular globe head, who I hate. You know, that's how it works, isn't it? You know, people will remember an image that you've taken that's been used to bash some globies around with, and they'll go, yeah, man, more of that, please, Ranty.
So have we done any housekeeping? I don't think we have. We've kind of missed that, haven't we?
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind not doing housekeeping for one day.
Oh, we can't let housekeeping go.
Fair enough. Any signs of curvature, Ranty? Have anybody on the panel, Mark, Chocolate, any signs of curve?
Nope.
Talking to you, Mark. You are out looking for curve. You're our current curve hunter.
Not found any. It's very foggy today, though. I might be missing it.
But you are, though. I mean, we'll get through housekeeping slowly, but you are currently like a curve hunter, aren't you, Mark?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Tell. I mean, you've obviously spoken on this panel absolutely loads, but to tell the audience what your general attitude is, because I like your attitude and what you're doing, just so people get to know a bit more about Mark.
My attitude is what's observable and can I feel it, rather than putting too many figures where I am and how far in the distance I'm taking photograph of. It's just observably flat. I'm looking after one of the kiddies here, so you can hear in the background.
That's all good.
So yeah, let them put figures into it if they want to, but it looks flat. It's observably flat. Where on earth do you get the curve from? And that's what I wait for. I wait for them to say, but the Earth's so big, you can't see the curve. So my question to that is, well, then, at what point can you see the curve? So the ball's in their court now, or the ball, literally. At what point can you see the curve? And the only place that they can go is upwards into NASA's world of photographs from a distance that we cannot replicate. And so they're on the back foot already. You get them to explain why they believe it and what errors there are in their assumptions and conclusions. Don't usually get that far with them, though.
Well, unless they're sending you into the world of fantasy, sci-fi, NASA imagery, costume department, whatever. You know, when we get to housekeeping about pressurized system next to a vacuum, if Anthony was here, it'd be like M. Scott Beach in a costume. It's like,
they can only go upwards. Because there's nothing on planet Earth or the face of the Earth that shows any curvature whatsoever.
No, I completely agree.
What you'll probably find with a typical bowler response is once they've gone through the NASA stuff and they've realised that really isn't evidence, and then they go through the facts about gravity and they realise that's just a pseudoscience, there's no evidence for it, and you start breaking things down bit by bit, they turn into childish trolls. That's what they turn into. And then they throw the toys out of the pram, and they try and just cause havoc, basically, because they can't deal with it. They can't process it in their head that we can no longer go to space. There is no space. We can't go to get in a rocket and go to the moon. You know, once they've come down from that and that understanding.
Hold on a second. Is that you,
Right,
Anthony? Is that you?
Hello, Anthony.
What's up?
Is that actually
Is that you? Or a troll?
I'm going to kick you if you're
It's
not.
me. Of course, it's me.
I don't know.
Oh,
I nearly kicked you.
yeah, I did too. Literally, I'd already clicked the X.
Right, so the link's public, is it?
Yeah, the link's public. The link's always public. It's a public show.
Yeah, so they have this kind of mental fit, and they just blather it everywhere because they can't comprehend it. They can't understand it that they've been lied to. They're not willing to accept that they have been lied to, and it's embarrassing because people that are looking at the chat right now, they'll see the same names in there every day, and they'll see the same people denying evidence when it's presented to them.
Yeah.
And still clinging to NASA and still clinging to the ball when they've got no evidence for it.
Well, 3 years in for me, I've got to start questioning the motivations of these people. I mean, I was talking about it with YouTube on this chat actually before it started. So when I first put the link out, I say, you know, welcome to Flat Earth Debate in the chat, and there was Ute immediately first, and then he started chatting to me. But he was saying, you know, specifically Mark Taylor and Jem Panda, he was saying you'll go into a chat that's either a new flat earther or a, you know, relatively unpopular flat earther that's doing a live stream. They've got 5 people watching, but either Jem or Mark will be in there, and you think, well, why are you in there? Why are you one of the audience members in a no-name flat earthers channel telling them how wrong they are? When, as you say, they've been presented with the counter-argument countless occasions. They've been demolished countless occasions. What are they doing? What's their motive?
I say that all the time. I don't understand why someone would seek out something they absolutely ridicule and do not believe and follow it every day.
Yeah.
What is the mentality there? What is wrong with you guys, honestly? I don't seek out things I can't stand and follow them every day and pay attention and join chats about them. Are you kidding? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, and it's like you said, it's the same guys every day.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, you wouldn't go and seek out people that hurt animals or something like that. So if there was a channel or a group of people that were hurting animals, you wouldn't go into their chat every day and wait for the next video to be shown or whatever, because it would appall you. You wouldn't want to be in that situation. You would want to distance yourself from it. So that's why I call them trolls, because you've got the people that make accounts on the back of Flat Earth. It's not all Earth. They only made their channel to counter Flat Earth that they despise and hate. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what happens. That's your Reds Rhetorics and your Sly Sparkanes and stuff like that. Well, if they don't believe it, why don't they just go away somewhere else? You know,
just
do something positive with the life.
I want to do a couple of shout-outs. So Paul on the Plane has put £20 into your GoFundMe, and Brian Quinn has put £5 into your GoFundMe. So big, massive shout-outs to Paul on the Plane and Brian Quinn.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Brian. Much appreciated.
Also, thanks to Flat Tony for hitting my super chat. Wow. Thank you. So kind. So for all those who want to criticise and say you're e-begging, me, yes, I am. And Varanti, yes, he is. So what? He can't afford that camera, he's going to have that camera, and he's going to smash ball heads with it. And all the people who want that have supported him. For all the people who don't want that, some of them have just not watched, not supported him, and that's perfectly acceptable and perfectly fine. No one wants to twist any arms here. But ultimately, there's a handful of people who are like, this is disgusting. It's like, yeah, well, if you are ashamed to ask for something that you need and can't afford, then fair enough, this is disgusting to you. For me, It's not in the slightest bit disgusting. I've contributed towards it. I don't know what, Ranty. I'm sure you'll contribute towards your own camera as well. Big shout out to Joey Slive for the super chat. Keep up truth, he says. But you know, it's one of those that this is something that people are benefiting from, me included. You know, from your hard work. So it's deserved.
To be fair though, Nathan, that isn't the worst part of it, that people are saying it's disgusting or whatever. What is disgusting is that people get like $50 million a day of funding towards this fiction that they are told, or that we are told that we live on, called a spinning testicle. And that is repulsive. So, and we don't get any choice on the matter. They get that money anyway. So it's like, well, people are choosing to donate. People are not forced to donate. That makes it acceptable. So I don't see what the problem is.
I completely agree. Like I get up, I go to work, and you're gonna take taxes out of my income, and then you're gonna pay for your bullshit CGI pictures, and that's okay. But I can't willingly contribute to somebody that wants to do some real stuff. Like, makes no sense. I don't want to get robbed from NASA every day, but that's what we all do. But the ballers don't complain about that. And what do they get in return? CGI pictures.
Yeah, I mean, what you'll look at is that every baller
ISS
channel,
videos.
every baller channel is monetized to the hilt. They have the super chat, they have the monetization, they have the Patreon. That new guy that's come out, what's he called? Simon Dan. He's got a Patreon up and running already. You know, I mean, these guys, yeah, absolutely. These guys are milking it to the hilt, and they're only in Flat Earth to discredit Flat Earth if they can. You know, they would have no other means to have a channel if it wasn't for Flat Earth, and yet they are profiteering from Flat Earth by just holding hangouts and criticizing Flat Earthers and stuff. You know, I mean, these guys have no morals, no. They won't go out and do what I do, you know. So yeah, I just I'm, you know, my channel isn't monetized. I could monetize it right now. I could set it up and monetize it if I wanted to.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, I could.
No, you're not over.
Yeah, it says you can do it.
Have you got over 1,000 subs?
Yeah, but because I've had the channel for longer than when they changed that rule, I can still do that.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could have had it monetized months ago if I wanted to. But no, you know, I mean, and if you look at, like I say, if you look at all the baller channels, they're all monetized, and yet you get the trolls in here calling me for the first time ever actually asking for some help to buy a camera. Now, let me just get something straight here, is that it was never my intention to ask for that. It was people in chat saying, the P1000's coming out, get yourself a GoFundMe and I'll support you for it. And if it hadn't been that at least 10 people, individual people, had messaged me and told me that this is what they wanted me to do, set a GoFundMe up, I wouldn't have done it. I'd have waited till maybe January next year and got my hands on one myself. But people want the evidence now, and they want me to go out with a P1000 and do it. It's not going to be no skin off my nose.
Ranty,
I'm going to what?
It appears that the £1,000 target has been met.
Yes, indeed.
Really?
Let me just do the shout outs. So after Brian Quinn, we had Brian.
No way.
Michael. Oh God, how Sec Loose. Oh God, can you say that, Anthony? Michael
I don't know.
Sec Loose. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna spell it. Michael SEKULOVSKI, who donated £50. Big massive shout out to you, and an enormous. And I do mean enormous shout out to Jeremy Wartenby for the £89 donation a minute ago. So thank you very much to Jeremy Wartenby.
All right, okay.
So thank you very much to the 39 people in, is it less than 24 hours?
It will be, yeah.
It was this time on the last show, wasn't it, that you started the camp? So within a day, you've raised £1,000 towards the camera. I am overwhelmed. Right, you said at the beginning of this stream that if you hit the target on this stream, you'd order it, you'd pre-order it during the show. So I don't want to hear nothing from you. Don't want to hear nothing from you other than thank you to everybody. So you can do that, and then you can toddle away, mate. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So who are you gonna order through?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to have a look around, see what deals are on.
Amazon have got it on.
Hey, let's not chat about it. Let's just first, Ranty needs to say his big thank yous, and then he needs to toddle away and do some research and let us know throughout the show how he's getting on.
Hang on, let me F5 that page and see who. Yeah, so
you can get it on Amazon right now, Ranty.
Right. Okay.
Go on. Put the camera on your face so we can see the grin as well.
Well, while he's doing that, I'll do all those shout outs for you, Ranty. So everybody that's not anonymous, I'll shout out. So Ian Matheson, big shout out. I'll just say their names.
There's £1,200 of 1,000 goal.
Oh wow.
Dallas Welker, holy macaroni, £200. Thank you very, 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 very much.
Wow.
Well, wow. Yes, wow.
Well, while you're having a look at Amazon, so I am going to do a shout out to everybody that's actually donated, because I can, and I think it's well deserved that people get a proper shout out now that you've hit your target. So Ian Matheson, myself, Adam Meeking, the Dumpus, Sarah Christina Barber, Natty Poyce, Chris Berry, Stefan Poyce, Mark Leblanc, YouTube, Russell Houghton, Michael Buck, Terence Hare, Edward Rogers, Swinging Warrior, Glenn Williamson, Dandelion Sharp, Craig Chareg Patel, George Hattanyuk, The Rumpus, David Little, Reg Rhetoric, She Who Dares, Reg Rhetoric again, She Who Dares, Benjamin Coe, Earth Flattener, Pear Shaped, Rhett Priestley, Paul on the Plane, Brian Quinn, Michael Seluski, Jeremy Whartonby, and who was that last one?
The last one was Dallas Welker.
That's superb. So he's covered the fees. So in other words, you can actually literally cover the entire cost of the camera because he's covered the GoFundMe fees. So awesome. Absolutely awesome. Huge pat on the back to everybody who has managed to get Ranty a superb tool within a day of asking for a little bit of help. So, you know, everybody chips in a little. You're all fantastic people. So I don't know if you want to echo that, Ranty.
Yeah. I mean, it was less than 24 hours because it was at the start of the second show yesterday that I told everybody what the thing was. So yeah, it's like 23 hours and 30 minutes. Fantastic. That must be a record of some sort.
Yeah, congrats, Ranty. That's dope.
Well, all I can say is that you know, I won't be sitting on my laurels with it. It will be put to very good use. And it'll be out every single day, trying to see what we can see, doing tests here, there, and everywhere. Whew. Anthony, you still here?
No, he's disappeared to get a brew.
All right, okay.
Yeah,
we were doing housekeeping. Sorry, I'm like.
It's okay.
I'm quite stunned with the response. To be fair.
Yeah, the dumper says ballers gutted, and they're like, yeah, they would hope you would fall flat on your face, do a GoFundMe, get 100 quid, and get it refunded because you didn't hit your target. But exceeding your target by 20%, I think that's job well done in a day. And now we don't have to babble on about it, you know, e-begging for the next 2-3 days. So we can now draw a line under it. Hopefully by the end of the show, you've got it on pre-order. And, you know, you'll just keep the people on your channel updated with how the order's progressing and when you'll get it, and do a little tech video when you get it. It's ace. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep everyone up to date. I think I'm going to do a live stream when I'm taking the P900 apart and taking out the infrared blocking filter that's inside of that. So if they want to tune in and see me trash my P900, that's brilliant, because hopefully it'll work afterwards and then I can shoot in infrared. I'll do a video later as well, thanking all the people that have donated as well, individually.
Right, Mark Taylor says he's crying.
Has the camera been on sale in Japan already? They usually have it a few months before everybody else. Do we know? Has it anybody started using it?
But I want to see Ranty go on mute so we can. He's got stuff to do. I definitely want, by the end of this stream, because I've labelled this stream P1000, so by the end of the stream I'm hoping that, you know, Ranty will put a few pictures up saying ordered successfully, and that'll be a nice way to round out the show. So try not to distract Ranty too much.
Right, hang on. I'll go on mute and I'll see what I have to do with this GoFundMe thing. I've never used it before and been paid out, so I did try one a long time ago, but
hey Jose,
morning,
I didn't actually meet the criteria for that.
Yeah, we'll leave you to it for a bit, Ranty. We've got half an hour, so I'm sure that's plenty.
No worries.
Congratulations, Ranty, on your new upcoming P1000, and go away, go order, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations and go away. Very well said, Jose.
Yes, indeed.
So cool. When Anthony gets
Go
back,
away
there's
and kill the globe some more.
Yeah, smash that globe. CGI Ranty,
That's
that's
why
my
the
beer
balls are
money you're
mad.
cutting into, Nathan Oakley. Very funny.
That's why
Let us
the
know when you're
ball is
back.
mad, because Ranty's killing it.
Yeah, well, it's people showing their appreciation, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, definite shout out to the whole FE community just for stepping up to that.
Shout out
There's
to
Greater
Nikon.
Sapiens donated to as well for another £10, so thank you very much, Greater Sapien.
Now, whatever extra you get is gas money, you know.
I think it'll actually just cover the fees from GoFundMe. Because Ute was quick to point out you should have asked for 1,200. I was like, if I'd have known that if you don't reach your target, you don't actually get paid the money, everyone gets refunded. So I'd have been bottling it, putting it at 500 and like, whoa, there's risk that I can only get that. But the fact that he's gone over his target and, you know, can cover the actual entirety of the camera from people's donations is, for me, just superb.
This is a true example of how honesty works, you know. Ranty put hard work and go out there, and people that really want to see this and support him, they support, you know, they do it.
That's it. Hoping to go on to something a bit more serious when Anthony's free. He's off mute, but I don't know where he is. Dead air in the meantime. Everyone's reflecting on the fact that Ranty's just about to get a P1000. Because it's new and exciting, isn't it? No one's actually seen a P1000. Other than a few handful of reviewers that I've seen that I think have got their hands on one. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Can't wait to see what it looks like. Looked massive in the reviews I saw. Is that you,
Nobody
Anthony?
on YouTube has one yet. Like we haven't seen any images from one.
No.
Seen how it works, how the zoom looks, anything.
Yeah,
There are
I've
some
seen-
reviews online, but none of them are all. They're all like, "Look at this flower."
Yeah,
Like, it's like, yeah, we want to see the curve.
Right.
yeah. I was going through them hoping that one of them would be long distance. Hey, Jemmy, is it Jemmy? Jimmy?
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello.
Hello, good to have you.
Hello.
Hello.
We can
Hello?
hear you, Jimmy.
Can you not hear us, Jimmy? Clearly not.
Hello, Jimmy.
Not sure Jimmy's real.
Do we risk it for a biscuit? I can always start a new hangout. It's no big deal.
Yeah. Biscuit. If we get kicked, we get kicked.
Indeed. Hopefully Jimmy will sort his audio out. So, Anthony, now you're back with this. I was actually...
How did you know I was gone?
Because we asked you various questions and you didn't say hello.
Oh, yeah. Postman, when you heard the dogs barking before, it was a postie. Bring him
see.
goodies.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah, it does. All three of them could go berserk. It's like feeding time at the zoo.
So, I was hoping to actually start off with this. Although it's no bad thing that it's ended up being right in the slap bang middle of the show. So, do you want to tell us a little bit how it's progressing with our current...
Mr. Natanuk.
Yeah, whatever you want to call him. Hold on a second, Anthony. Hello, Jimmy, can you hear us?
Mr. Natanuk. Yeah, whatever you want to call him. Hold on a second, Anthony. Hello, Jimmy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Sorry about that. I know my fault.
Can you move the watch page?
Yeah, whatever you want to call him. Hold on a second, Anthony. hear us?
Yes, I can. Sorry.
I've muted you, Jimmy, but if you can mute your watch page, please, because you're listening to the watch page as opposed to the Hangout that you're in.
And we're getting it twice.
Yeah, anyway. So, yes, so there's been a little bit of progression in regards to George and his outright lies. Do you want to fill us in?
Yeah, basically, obviously the background is that we had the Hangout with George, and in the Hangout with George, we were questioning where the authority for the ethical concerns that he had came from, and it took him an absolute age, and in the end, we gave it to him ourselves, and basically, he couldn't find the thing that he wanted to look for, and he said he'd have to go away and come back another day. Now, since then, he said that he's going to come on Thursday and release a video pertaining to the conversation he's had with Brian Mullen that he claims that he's had, in which in that conversation he claims that Brian Mullen has gone back to the ball. He's scared of ramifications from these sons of bitches, quote, meaning us, like flat earthers, and that he's not championing flat earth anymore. And this is quote from the horse's mouth, I think was the words he used. And I know that that's not true. And I'd spoke with Robbie Davidson about it, and Robbie Davidson said, on my authority, you can put my name into this, and you can tell, because obviously Robbie's in bed at the minute because of where he is in the world. He said, you can tell everybody that this is not true. Brian is not in touch with anybody directly in Flat Earth, including Robbie himself. The only contact that anybody's got with Brian is through Brian's wife, and it's Robbie that's got it. And if anybody else does have it, it's literally a very, very, very select few. No ballers are in touch with him. He is incommunicado. He deleted all his social media presence, his Facebook presence, everything's gone. He's not obtainable unless you're in the know, and George is not in the know. So Robbie said to me, he said, on my say so, you can put my name to this guy's lying. Now what I've done is I've said, okay, let's see if you can prove that you had a conversation with Brian Mullen. What's the last 3 numbers on his phone? Now, bear in mind, he's not on social media, so you can't get in touch with him through LinkedIn or through Facebook or through YouTube. You can only get to him via phone. So George would know his phone number, right? So I've asked him for the last 3 digits of his phone number. Now, I have had a response from one of his baller trolls known as Plug with 0 subs, and I've simply said, is your name George? Obviously, his name's not George. I'm asking specifically George. I've not answered either way. Now, I'm looking forward to George proving that he had this conversation, because he won't know his mobile number. So I'm asking him for the last 3 digits because I know what it is, and he knows, and he doesn't know what it is. So unless he can give me the last 3 digits of his phone number, he hasn't made the phone call. Now he's claiming that he's too busy at the minute. Now he might have a busy week. That's fine, but he's got enough time to be able to make this video on Thursday, apparently. So why can't he say the last 3 numbers on his phone for the phone number? And he obviously can't do it. So George, if you're watching this and you hear this message, just pass on the 3 numbers for us, and let's see whether there's any credibility to it. And just be aware that if you do pass on the 3 numbers and they do happen to be correct, we'll still be asking you to prove that the phone call was made from your phone on the date at the time that you said it was. So even if you do get the right phone number, that's not the end of the story. But let's just see if it is the right phone number first, because my money's on that you don't even have his number, and my money's on that you had the number that he had a few years back, and you don't have the number anymore because he changed it when he left for Flat Earth. He changed it because he went incommunicado for his own reasons, and I don't think you've got it. So the last 3 numbers are Georgie Porgy. Let's see what you've got.
I want to do a quick shout out because it was one of the contributors who's also now contributed to me in the super chat. So great day for me as well. But hi guys, it's Michael Sekulovsky. So thank you very much to Michael Sekulovsky. Hope I've said that correctly. But yeah, big shout out to you. And yeah, you're saying a big shout out too, aren't you? Go on then, say a big thank you to Michael. With your jingle bells.
Hey guys, quick question for you guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the dealio with Chris Monk?
What's the what?
What's happening with Chris Monk?
I honestly don't know. I've spoke to him, and he's gone. It seems that he's gone geocentric, but with a twist. He doesn't believe that the Earth's stationary on the geocentric model. He believes that it's spherical, but it's rotating. But the universe revolves around us, and we're rotating. That's my understanding at the moment. But I haven't spoke to him for a while. Pardon?
Does that make sense? It's geo, but it's also rotating.
No, it doesn't make sense by definition. But that's where he's at, as far as I can tell.
And what's brought him to the believe that the Earth is spherical?
It's complicated, and it'll be getting dealt with in the next couple of days. It's to do with the interpretation of some raw data resulting from the fiber optic gyroscope tests that FE Core did. His view on it is that because it interacts differently with a mechanical gyro when it was expected to interact with it the same, this has formed his opinion. It's a very narrow interpretation, and I don't know exactly what the issue is, but Bob does. And I've asked Bob to address this because I want to know what the issue is. I want to know what the evidence is and what he considers the evidence to be interpreted as. And I also want to know what the opposing view of it is, because it is important. If the Earth is spinning and Chris accepts it, then we want to know why. And I think everybody wants to know why, because that really is the story of the week. So Bob has agreed that he will come on my, he said that he'll come on a hangout. I presume he meant on my channel. And I'm just going to quick fire ask him a few questions on it and play a clip. And hopefully, basically, it's going to be a case of, what is the issue with the fog gyro that Chris accepts? He's explained to me, and I'll tell him roughly what I know. Can you be more precise as to what Chris's position is? Because he knows it. He does know it. And then I'm going to say, so what's the counter position? And then he'll tell us that. And then I'll say, right, what's the evidence that supports both versions? And he'll explain that. Then I'll play a clip of something that is cited from somewhere else that adds weight to what Bob's about to say. And then hopefully it'll be done in about half an hour. And all of the ins and outs of the arguments for and against Chris leaving FE Core will be explained with evidence, with the interpretations. And then you can make your own mind up what you think's happening and what you don't think's happening. Because at the minute, I don't actually know what the point is. I know that it's something to do with fogs. I just don't know specifically what part of it. And it's hard to get in touch with Chris at the minute because he seems not incommunicado, but he's not as approachable as what he once was.
I want to just add that, I mean, regardless of your views on the gyro and what it proves and what it doesn't prove, it is, by definition, a logical fallacy. It's an affirming the consequent. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. So I'll do it for both sides, flat Earth and globe side. So if we have a spinning ball Earth, then we will see a 15-degree turn in a gyroscope. We see a 15-degree turn in a gyroscope. Therefore, we have a spinning ball Earth. On the flat Earth side, if we see a 15-degree turn in a gyroscope, we have a rotating ether. We have a rotating ether because we see a 15-degree turn in a gyroscope. Both are equally fallacious. So, regardless of what the arguments and merits are for what they assume is the cause of that gyro turning, it's never going to be a scientifically valid experiment, ever.
What's the panel's thoughts on quite a big name within the flat Earth community going over to the opposite side?
What's your opinion, Jimmy? What's your position?
I think Chris Monk has found the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, but he also now believes in dinosaurs, and I think by next month he'll probably believe in Santa again. So I'm not sure how much truth he's found.
But what's your thoughts about a big name going over to the globe side?
Well, he hasn't gone onto the globe side. He's gone onto a hybrid of geocentrism. So by that's a misrepresentation. Puppy. That's a misrepresentation. He hasn't gone onto the ball. He's only gone onto a hybrid of the geocentric argument. So he doesn't believe it's heliocentric like you morons do.
Hold on, before you get into the ad hominems, while I can hopefully get over the top of my kids' jingle bells. We are, or I'll only speak for myself. Personally, I'm not that interested in the consensus opinion. So you guys who think, well, strength in numbers, I don't care. I've got my own beliefs and I'm content with my beliefs and that's it. So if someone else has a differing opinion, that's good for them. Everybody is entitled to their beliefs. You believe whatever you like. But your concern with others' beliefs, that's, you know, in some ways concerning. Who cares what other people believe?
In a history of these things, like I remember the whole Tiger Dan thing, and you know, he was a big flat earther many years ago, and he went over, and the attack that he got was disgraceful, in my opinion. But this is a big name within the flat Earth community, has denounced the flat Earth.
Is he a big name? How many subscribers does Chris Monk have?
No, but it was on a relatively mainstream flat Earth show.
You talked very quickly and ignored my question. How many subscribers does Chris Monk have?
Don't know.
Do you want to have a quick look?
Okay. Would you? No, I don't. Would you say that him being?
Hold on. You've declared 3 times a big YouTuber has moved over to the globe. Then you said it again. Now on your third time, I'm saying, do you want to back your assertion?
I'll back my assertion by the fact that he was on a mainstream flat Earth show with some of the most well-known flat earthers, and he's looked into it and gone, "Do you know what? The Earth's not flat." There's my assertion.
And should that worry us, Jimmy?
Well, hang on. I agree. I'm not persuaded it is flat, but I realise it's not a sphere of the size they tell us. So it's not that dissimilar to my own view.
It could be a sphere then.
No.
Okay, well, fair enough. Are you satisfied with your answers or not, Jimmy?
Yeah. I just wanted to know how it makes you feel. What does it do to the
I mean, I didn't get an answer to my question. I don't know how many subscribers Chris has got, but you know, I'd be interested if someone can look it up before the end of the show. We're going to round out for a quick break shortly, and then hopefully we'll have enough time for Auntie to say he's made an order. But you know, okay, just so it's a different person. What's your feelings about Red Pill Philosophy going over to Flat Earth? 100,000 subscribers.
I feel sorry for him.
Oh right, so you're not concerned that a big name who was formerly on the globe is now not on the globe? That doesn't concern you deeply that 100,000 people who he's broadcasting to are now going to know that he's no longer believing what Chris Monk, about 300 subscribers less, has got? That doesn't concern you.
I'm the same as you, Nathan. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just asking you what your thoughts are on terms of the.
Let me explain from my point of view. I don't care what view he takes, but I am interested in what evidence he accepts, because I want to see what both sides to the evidence that he accepts are. I want to see what his side is. I want to see what the counter is. I want to see the evidence that supports both versions, both sides, so I can make my own mind up. But I don't actually know what the argument is at the minute, but Bob does. And that's why I've asked Bob, would he address it? Because I want to know what both sides are so that I can make my own decision based on the evidence that both sides of the argument present. So that's my position, and his preference makes no odds.
Sure. Because obviously he spent a lot of time in the flat Earth community, like 3 or 4 years, actually, maybe more. And you know, he's gone away from it. And you know, it's all. It was just a simple question. That's all. It meant no harm.
Yeah, you're appealing to emotion, though. You've asked us how do we feel about it. We don't care.
Okay, that's your answer. Appreciate your answer.
What's your view on it then? What's your feeling on it?
Again, probably similar to the last person who I was referring to. I don't really care. I'm just saying it's quite a big thing for a relatively big name within the Flat Earth who's part of a mainstream Flat Earth show, who spent years dedicating himself to the Flat Earth movement. To then go,
sorry, that's the fourth time you've done that, so I'll have to do it because you won't. So, Red Pill Philosophy, around 100,000 subscribers, has just renounced the globe. 100,000 people he communicates with. Chris Monk Seville, 350 subscribers. Why do you keep saying he's a big name?
Because he was on part of the mainstream Flat Earth show.
Oh, really? Well, Red Pill Philosophy has got 100,000 subscribers and has just renounced. So for all those people who want to hear you say 4 times that a 350 subscriber YouTuber is a big name that's moved across to the globe, 100,000 subscriber base has just been told that globe, nah, not at all. So yeah, Chris has got 350 people to tell that to.
And how do you think Bob will deal with this?
And why do you keep asking us about how other people feel?
Bob's going to explain what his position is based on the evidence that he accepted, because Bob knows what the arguments were for and against. Bob's then going to counter it with the reasons for why it's wrong, and then show the evidence for it, and then you're going to be left to make your own mind up. But he's doing this because I asked him to address it, because I agree with you. It's big enough for us to warrant asking the question, and it'll be dealt with within the next week before Bob goes away on holiday. So Chris won't come on and have a discussion with us at the minute. I've asked him twice and he won't come on. For whatever reason, he said that he doesn't want to get directly involved in the discussions or whatever. He wants to be impartial, renegade on his own, that kind of thing. But he won't come on the show to discuss it. So in the absence of him doing that, I have to rely on him, on somebody else explaining what was the fallout, what was the argument, what was the evidence that was accepted, and what's the counter for it. And hopefully we'll get a conclusion on it within the next week. Shut up.
A reasonable response, Anthony. Thank you.
Hey, I was curious. What does the baller on the panel think about them treating 600 nautical miles as flat?
What, is this an area thing again?
No, it's nothing to do with area. It's to do with distance.
So you've got a conclusion. You know what so were you right then, Issa?
Yeah, I was right.
So Sean Hufford was wrong.
Yeah, well, check it. I have to.
The date you had
concede-
yesterday, or the day before, whatever it was.
No. Well, first off, I started off on like Riley called me on Skype. Then it wound up getting multicasted onto Riley or to Oakley's, and then Sean Hufford made a response video. So I got a phone call from Skype in the morning, and then wound up in the middle of a bunch of stuff. Now, I have to concede this square mile.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. But if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!